Hello, you guys. Welcome back to another video slash episode. I hope everybody is doing well today. Did you guys miss me? Oh my God, you did? Now, I am very aware that in the past couple episodes, I've been like, I didn't even really write notes for this one. I'm kind of just speaking from my heart. And here I am to do that again. I just went out of town for a couple of days. This idea popped in my mind, and I was like, that's what I'm going to record when I get back. So today we are going to be talking about lust. How many of y'all have heard that term, but actually know what it is? I don't know. Do you know? I don't know about y'all. There's a very typical term. Oh my God, love or lust. You hear it in rap music, you hear it in books, stuff like that. And I don't know why I feel like the word lust comes to my mind a lot when I think of the men that approach me. In my opinion, lust and love bombing go hand in hand. It's like getting so excited, giving your all, making all these promises, being infatuated with someone that you do not know well. And I know that girls can definitely do this too. There's some female love bombers out there, but I feel like I'm just seeing it in my dating life time and time again. For those of you who don't know what love bombing is, I'm going to give you a prime example. Love bombing rocked my world in my first relationship, okay? I was love bombed when I had my first love, which is pretty brutal if you already know what that is. This boy was just like so excited to date me. So, you're so beautiful. We're never breaking up. Said I love you after only meeting me like a couple times. Was like, you're gonna have my kids, this and that. When it's just like, that's cool and all. Like, if you have those thoughts and you're an adult, at that time, I was technically an adult, but I was 18. It was, y'all get what I mean. Um, I feel like it's kind of common to see young people do that. Like, the frontal lobe isn't developed. Like, you think of all these things that you should really be keeping to yourself. Because, yes, of course, when you date someone, when you start to like someone, you want that to be the end result. You want to continue to be with them. You want to marry them one day. Maybe you want to have kids. You don't ever want to break up with them. But thoughts come and go. Okay? You don't really know them yet to be for certain and making all these promises. And that is where it all goes wrong. I mean, this boy would drive an hour and back to see me, take me to his house, bring me back, go back home in the same day, never let me open the car door by myself, like just do all this little extra stuff that I had never experienced before. Also, because it was like my first real relationship, and I just thought it was also like super nice, super. We never had any problems because it's like anytime I had a problem or something, he was just so quick to be apologetic or it's my fault in the beginning, because that's what these love bombing manipulators do, am I right? But then, so they do all these great things to entice you, like get the bag, lock in, and then once they realize they have you, they're like, oh, my job is over, and they pull back. They don't do that little stuff anymore. When you question, why did you used to be nicer or used to do this and now you just don't, they make you feel crazy. Like, what do you mean? Or I don't know, I just don't. Like, that's their whole spiel. And yeah, it really made me feel insane. It made me feel like, oh my God, like he made me feel like I'm too much, like I'm just doing too much because I wasn't okay with the automatic switch up. Like, boy, bye. Um, and I feel like ultimately this switch, along with my immaturity, his immaturity, just a lot of young problems we didn't figure out yet, just got to a bunch of arguing. And I feel like that's how the relationship all came crashing down. Now, comment right now if you ever been love bombed before. I bet you 90% of the people watching my video have experienced this, okay? I've experienced it a couple times now, but I feel like honestly, when you get love bombed though, like it builds character development. Cause I'm like, I feel like after that, like even when I got love bombed after being love bombed by my first love, like the other ones was just like, oh, nigga, I see what you're doing. And another thing I want to say is there might be some people who are on the other side who are watching this and are like, oh, I kind of do that at the beginning. I kind of put my first foot down and do all this extra stuff, try to pretend I'm much nicer and much more extravagant than I am. And then, obviously, like, I can't always keep that act up forever. And if you're in that position, think about what you say. But I'm also aware that I don't think every single love bomber does it like intentionally. I think some people, that is literally just their personality and they're a little bit a lot of them are not self-aware. Before my ex completely pulled away, I remember when I brought it up, he was like, yeah, other girls have told me before that I always like relax in relationships, stuff like that. I'm like, oh, so this is a pattern. But y'all know how it is with first loves. Like, if I met someone like that now and I was like, oh, that's the pattern and that's how you do things. But y'all know that's not how it goes when it's your first love. I honestly think love bombing and lusting after people is like a societal problem because I feel like society literally breeds people pleasers. You're supposed to do this, you're supposed to show this, you're not supposed to show that part of yourself. Like, you guys hear that common phrase before where they're like, oh, he still loves me when 6 months in, now that he knows I'm crazy. Like, I don't know about y'all, but I'm completely the opposite of like that societal people pleasing standard because like my parents really raised me like very encouraging to be myself. Like, I will ask any question I want. If I snooped on your page and I saw something, I'll just be like, "Oh, who's this?" Like I'm not afraid to ask any of those questions. Are you only talking to me? How long do you think a talking stage is? Do you want, like, I feel like it is so important to ask whatever the fuck you want to ask off the bat because it takes out the trash. Like, if people are weirded out, like, why is she so open and blah blah blah, then it's like, okay, you're not the person for me then. And remember how I said being love bombed literally makes you feel crazy because the manipulation of the situation just makes you feel like you did something wrong because it's like, what did I do to warrant this all of a sudden pull, all of a sudden different behavior, acting like you don't care? It made me very insane in my first relationship and following the breakup. And, honestly, sometimes even when it happens to me today, it is still a little normal to feel like, damn, like, what did I do? And that happened in a recent situation. Y'all remember a couple videos ago when I said I was supposed to go on a date? That day never happened. I got lip balm. I was talking to this guy for like a month. This situation literally happened about a week before we were supposed to go on a date. He was just like, so he set the tone for the relationship, like asked me to call the first day. We didn't, because who are you? I don't want to call you the first day. But I mean, like the second or third day, we did. He was like, oh, he set the tone for FaceTiming every day, talking whenever we have the time. And one thing about me, how I said I'm very, very brutally honest. It doesn't matter who you are. I could have seen that he was a love bomber a little bit from the beginning, but like, and I would address it, but I feel like you can never really know. Like, he would just say some stuff where I'll be like, don't you think it's a little early to be like saying stuff like that? Like, I remember he was like, oh, he would be like, oh, like in Thanksgiving, like my family always wants me to bring a girlfriend. I never brought a girlfriend. Like, maybe in Thanksgiving you should come. Like, bro, we haven't even had a first date yet. I would literally be like, that's like a nice gesture and all, but don't you think it's like a little early to bring up stuff like that? And he'd be like, oh, I'm just excited. No, nigga, you're irresponsible. So he was doing all that, setting the tone, wanting to talk to me all the time, blah, blah, blah. And then all of a sudden, one day we just had a FaceTime and he pulled back talking about, I feel like we should FaceTime less, blah, blah, blah. Just being hella like, what's the word? Very passive. And I'm just like, what are you talking about? Like, literally, don't tiptoe around whatever you're trying to tell me or explain to me. Say it with your chest. And then he eventually was just saying, oh, I don't think this is going to work, blah, 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 blah. I really want to. I really like you, but, and I felt so hurt. Like, even though I hadn't met this dude yet, it's just like the feeling of like someone pulling back again. It's just like deeper than him because it's like, it is deep in my past. So like at first it really did like hurt my feelings. I haven't been on a date in like a year, and so I was really excited. Like, it made me cry, and it also made me think like, again, like, what did I do for this all of a sudden change? I'm like, bro, in my head, I haven't done anything but be authentic from the jump, still set my boundaries. Like, I feel like nothing has changed. So I was like, what did I do? And I thought like that, you know, for a couple days after the situation happened. But then I was like, girl, what are you doing? Because I touched on this in one of my videos called The Struggles of Authenticity. You should go click that. It feels like a never ending cycle in my love life of like men pulling back, like when the first time they see some real emotion out of me or see that I'm not always just happy and funny all the time. And it's just like, why do, like, I feel like anytime someone pulls away, like I always kind of assume it's like because of that, which partially is great. Because, like I said, if they don't like that, don't want someone this authentic, this open, this straightforward, then like they definitely shouldn't date me. But also sucks because it's just like, damn, why again and why these type of people keep coming to me? So I felt like that for a little bit, but then I had to be like, bro, I'm this why mindset, what did I do mindset, why does this keep happening to me mindset? I'm like, bro, I gotta stop this because it's like this is exactly how it's supposed to be. And I'm like, maybe that is a problem in my love life, is that anytime this happens to me, I always all of a sudden think like, why me? Like, why doesn't someone just accept who I am? Or like, blah, 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 blah. To like, bro, I should be glad that I am removing access from someone who is not going to take the time and the patience and who doesn't have the personality to accept all of me in the capacity that I come with. It's like, why would I want to keep talking to someone like that, you know? And that really made me feel a lot better because just because I run into a couple love bombers, emotionally immature men, like, okay, I don't want to be with those types of people. So it's like, even though it's very annoying to go through talking stages, go through people, it's like, because I don't know about y'all, but like, I am a very serial monogamous. Like, I don't date people often. I don't talk to people often. I've talked to like 3 people in this whole year being single, and they always last a month. And you know, haven't been physical with anyone in like a year. So it's kind of just like, why, when I have like any little chance, you know, I get really excited and it just sucks being disappointed. And it made me think, like, but it's really like, bro, this is a blessing. I don't want someone who is going to make me feel small about my emotions, who can't recognize that I have different sides. I have my happy, funny side. I also have trauma. I have trauma responses. I get sad. I struggle. Like, why would I want someone who doesn't understand authenticity? And I feel like the more I have that mindset and I realize that and I keep it pushing, keep the boundaries up, keep it authentic, no matter what happens to me, it's like, bro, I'm closer and closer to finding my man. Like, what? And I'm sure a lot of you guys have been molested by after people, love bombed, all that. So I hope if you have a similar feeling right now, or if you have never been able to resolve a situation like that, that you can think of that too. Like, these people, you might not always know like a reason, because it's always like, what is a reason? Like, that was a waste of time. But it's not a waste of time. It's a test. Maybe it's like testing your boundaries. Like, oh, okay, is she gonna do better this time? Oh, okay. All right. She choosing herself again? Again? And that's really what I feel like it's trying to teach me. And honestly, even though these guys from these talking stages have not made me feel good, I don't think they're just like these terrible, whatever people. I just think that they're not for me. And I feel like that is okay. Like, I feel like it's so hard, like I said, as someone who is such like a relationship, deep connection girl, it's so hard to always accept that like you can have a connection with someone, but that is not your person. You know, like, you guys can have a connection and you can leave it at that. And when I look back at everything, I'm like, I learned so much. When I think about the first time I was love bombed by my first love, I think that was so painful. It hurt me so bad. It left me so confused. It left me so insecure, but if that didn't happen, I wouldn't be as smart and like strong with my boundaries as I am today, because I can recognize it. I can be like, this is love bombing, this is lust. I know the terms, okay? Like I have that knowledge that I didn't have before, and I don't blame, my young self for how I let it play out, because obviously I didn't know, because that never happened to me before, but now I know. So it's like, okay, universe, God, angels, whatever it says to me, girl, now you know. So what you gonna do? While I'm talking a lot about my side of being lusted after and being love bombed, I want to take a second and talk to the people on the other side real quick too. Like any of the people who thought they could relate or they did that to someone before, or like, oh yeah, I low key do be doing that when I meet people. I got some advice for y'all, which is what I told the last boy who love bombed me. Bro, you're a young person. You obviously like someone. You get really excited. You plan a future. If you're like me, you have a lot of thoughts. You have a lot of goals and ways that you want it to play out. But it's like you need to think before you speak, because that is what hurts people. When you make all these promises that you're just throwing out there, you don't know if you could keep that promise in 5 years. Like, what? You're saying all this stuff, but how about instead of saying all that stuff that could potentially hurt someone when you break that promise or you don't live up to that expectation, let's write it in a journal. Let's figure out a way to say it that isn't going to be a broken promise. Not, oh, you met this girl or this boy 2 months ago and you're like, oh, we're never breaking up. Girl, how do you know that? In 2 months, have you seen him in depression? Have you seen him have a mental breakdown? Have you seen him when he's actually low, or how he acts when he goes back to school, or how she acts when she goes out to a park? Like, I feel like you don't see a lot of that stuff come out till more like 6 months. But even so, then I'm sure there's people who are watching me who have been in way longer relationships than me. My longest relationship is a year. Maybe you don't see it in years. Don't go around saying, oh, we're never breaking up. Like, we're never breaking up. Because you don't know that. You don't ever want to break up with them in this moment. But do you actually know if that's true? How about, I hope we never break up. I want to plan to keep this relationship going. Don't be saying stuff that you can't back up. Okay? And I feel like that also goes with the actions you do too, because that's what comes out a lot in love bombing. Like, I remember when I was first dating my ex, he would slide up on every single story and say something about me. Oh, you're so beautiful. You're so this and this. And so when the love bombing was over and he was like, I got it. I ain't got to do any more work. Like, he would stop. And again, like, this part of it comes from my insecurity, because when someone stops that, like, I have to somehow be able to navigate, like, okay, my worth is not based off what this person does. But when you're younger, it's a little bit harder. But I remember I would ask him, like, why did you stop doing that? Like, it's like, I was like, do you think I don't like look good in every picture anymore? And of course he gaslighted me, like, that's not true. I don't know, I just thought. And so that is one thing I say so much in the beginning of my talking stages, is like, make sure you set the standard for what you can keep. Like, if you are going to like every single picture in the beginning, girl, you better like every single one of her pictures for the rest of your life. If you want to open the car on the first couple of dates, boy, you better not stop. Like, that is really important to me, where it's like, do stuff that you can back up. And I'm not talking about on a grand scale, where it's like, obviously as young adults, maybe sometimes you're gonna have more money, sometimes you're gonna have less money, but I just mean in basic stuff like that. It's like anything you expect or want to be treated in a relationship, you should be able to reciprocate. Okay? For the most part. Like I said, I know sometimes things happen, depressive episodes, financial problems, but be fucking for real. Please, please. But yeah, guys, again, today just speaking from the heart. And again, I just want to let anybody else who might have been in, a certain position, feeling like what did I do? Feeling lusted after, love bombed, and something just ended quickly. Again, like, recognize, if you played a part in it, girl, boy, non binary person, you know. Okay? If you know you played a part in it, there's something, blah, 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 take care of that in this time until the next talking stage. But as far as the love bombing, when you're like, what did I do for all of this to just pull away or them to change how they act? You don't want people like that, okay? Your life is going to be an emotional roller coaster if you want to be with someone who's always going to do something when they want to, or like, no, you deserve someone who tries, who puts in effort consistently, okay? Who accepts humans. I'm telling you, that's my biggest struggle. I'm like, bro, I feel like I would always be like, bro, the first time I get mad at a dude or they see me cry or like I actually have to talk to them about a boundary I feel like they cross, it's like all of a sudden they seem shocked. Like, am I just supposed to be a Barbie doll that just giggles and smiles? Like, but it's like the reality is like that's not how people are. People have shit, people have flaws, people have different sides. And I'm like, I don't even want someone who looks at me like that. Just like, oh, this pretty funny girl I found on social media. I want someone who knows I have way more than that, just like they do. And that's not something I should feel bad about or you should feel bad about, okay? So if I catch either one of us doing that or thinking, what do we do for being human beings? We're going to have a problem, okay? We're going to have a problem. But yeah, guys, shout out to that childish love bomber for inspiring this idea in my head while I was out of town my little trip. I'm just playing. He didn't inspire it fully. How I feel did too. But check out, my TikTok and my Instagram, you guys, if you want to see a little bit of the trip I just went on. It was really fun. I needed to get out. Um, but I am back and I will be back with another video this week. As always, don't forget to like this video and subscribe to me if you liked, hear me talk. Comment. I like to chat with y'all. I respond. Let's talk. I mean, I do have a playlist called Yap Sessions with a lot of other similar content to this if you want to, check it out or something. Okay, y'all, but thank you so much for making it to the end of this video/episode, and I will catch you guys in the next one. Bye!